Whenever you think about adding fractions, you keep your common denominator C and you add your numerators A plus B. Today we're going to be thinking about it going the opposite direction. So if we have this, it will kind of go back the other way and split up into A over C plus B over C. So when we divide this polynomial here by AB squared, then I will rewrite it as each term in the numerator divided by the AB squared minus plus AB squared over AB squared minus 8B over AB squared. Then I want to come back and I want to simplify it. Let's see, 5. The A and the A cubed, I'll cancel out. So I've got A to the second power and the B to the squared and B to the fourth will give me B squared. So just kind of repeat that for all of these. This is an 8. The A and the A squared leaves me with an A. The B squared and the B cubed leaves me with a B in the numerator. Plus, and then all of that cancels. So that's 1. You want to make sure you put a 1 in that spot. Minus, and then here, when I go to simplify this, you can see my B's. I'm going to be left with a B in the denominator. So my 8 is in the numerator. A doesn't have anything to cancel with, so it stays there, and then one of the B's cancels and leaves me with that B. So my final answer then would be this. So that's how you would divide a monomial into a polynomial. So now you try this one. Pause it and give that a try before we go to something different. Just very quickly, when you used to divide, when you learned how to divide 525 divided by 22, you would put your 525 inside of the bracket, and then you would divide it by 22. And then you would proceed through these steps. You would divide, you kind of estimate how many times will 2 go into 5, and you'd get a 2. And then you'd take that 2 and you'd multiply it times 22 and get 44. Then you would subtract and get 8, and then you would bring down your next number, and then you would repeat that work, to get your final answer. So we're going to do those same 4 steps when we do a division with polynomials. And they're written here on the second page. When you do polynomial long division, this is what you do. You arrange all the terms of your divisor and dividend in descending order. So x cubed, x squared, x, no variables. You'll insert a placeholder for missing terms. So for example, if one of your polynomials is x squared plus 3, then you'll write x squared plus 0x plus 3 because we need to go x squared, x constant. Then we will divide, and this is kind of like the estimate step, the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor. We'll follow up by multiplying, so I'll multiply the entire divisor by that answer, and you'll write the result below the dividend, and you'll be sure to line up the like terms. So we'll do these. The next step then is to subtract, except when we're working with polynomials, you got positives and negatives numbers. And whenever you have negatives, subtraction needs to be changed to addition of the opposite. And I like to say, to remind you to do that, you're going to draw the line and change the sign. So draw the line and change the sign. Then what you're going to do once you subtract or bring down or do your addition, then you're going to bring down the remaining terms. So once you've done that, you've gone through one full cycle, and then you're going to repeat and divide the first term in the remainder by the first term in the divisor, and then repeat steps 3 through 6. So let's see if we can go through one. So example 2, we're going to divide 19x minus 21 plus 12x squared by 4x minus 3. Notice that this numerator is not in descending order. So I'm going to, when I write it, I'm going to write 12x squared first, and then a plus 19x and minus 21. So put it in descending order inside the bracket, and then we're going to divide by 4x minus 3. So we're going to begin, when we do our division, we're going to divide the first term in the dividend, which is this, by the first term in the divisor, which is that. So division would look like this. I'm going to have 12x squared. I'm going to divide it by 4x, and that's going to reduce to 3x. So when I divide that, I get 3x. So I'm going to write 3x, that answer, and the quotient. All right, so the next step is I'm going to take that answer I just got right there times the entire divisor. So I'm going to say 3x, I'm going to distribute it, times 4x is going to give me 12x squared, and I'm going to line up those x squareds. Then I'll come back and say 3x times a negative 3 gives me a negative 9x. All right, so now I'm ready to subtract. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this line, and I'm going to change the signs. And when I change this minus to a plus, I'm going to circle it to remind me that I've already changed it. This is a plus, so I'm going to change it to a minus. This is going to add to be 0, so I'm not going to write it. And then I have 19x plus 9x, which is going to give me 28x. So now I've completed the subtraction step, and the last step is to bring down the remainder of the term. So minus 21 is going to come down there. All right, so now I'm ready to go and divide again, and I'm going to take the first term in that remainder, which is right there at 28x. So I'm going to take this 28x and divide it by 4x. So 28x divided by 4x, x's cancel, and that gives me 7. So in my quotient, I'm going to write plus 7, the answer I just got. Now I'm going to take that answer I just got, 7, and multiply it times the entire divisor, so distribute it. So 7 times 4x is 28x, and these should always match. They'll never not match. And then 7 times negative 3 gives you a negative 21. Now these sometimes won't match, but in this case it did. So I multiplied. Now I'm ready to subtract, so I'm going to draw the line, draw that line, change my sign to a minus here, plus here, and when I go to add, I get a 0. So there is no remainder, and my answer then is 3x plus 7. All right, so stop the video and give a try at problem B here, and see how you do.